Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a little bit of a time here. We started our springtime trolling for trout and salmon in New England video like 2 years ago, and then we took a break. But we're back now, so I figured I'd pick up where we left off in case anybody was looking forward to it. We're in the boat now in the garage, and we're going to kind of go over what we use, when, I guess. Well, this whole period will be all year we kind of use the same stuff, but your bait's depth and stuff will change. But what we're going to do here is show you how we find our fish, right? We get to where we're marking fish and bait on the fish finder, and then this is how we're going to set up when we start. So the first thing we're going to set down is going to be our downrigger. Here we use these 7.5 foot medium light rods. Spooled up with like 15-pound test. Then I'll put a swivel on it, and then we're gonna use a short leader here of 8-pound test. So I like about a 6 foot leader. I don't think you need much more. And a knife. You don't need much more than that. Even when the water's super clear, more often than not, the fish are gonna come in from the side, see your lure, and then they're gonna fall in behind it and track it from behind. So having a really long leader, it's not gonna hurt you, but in my opinion, it's not gonna help you, and stuff's not cheap, so I don't use a lot. So we're gonna put the swivel on. A good ball bearing swivel is definitely the way to go to prevent line twist. And here I'm just gonna use an improved clinch knot. Actually, I lied. That's called a union knot. I always tie a union knot. Turn that off. We'll go with a little more than 6 feet. Give us room to tie our swivel. And obviously these will be tied up beforehand. We don't tie them up when we get to the spot, but everything's been put away for a while here. So, and then I like these little, oh, where can I put this so you can see it well? I'm gonna put it right here on the carpet. That is the size swivel, got a ball bearing, and then here I'll just put a small, this is the smallest Michigan Stinger spoon for a size reference. So we're going to use that size swivel, and anything close is fine. I've never found it to be super critical to be exact, but same thing here. Tie a unit knot, double line, go back, wrap it around the double line 6 times. Trim off. Just leave it, trim off this tag in. Don't mind the black band-aid. Stabbed myself earlier. So now we're just going to unclip our swivel, take the spoon of your choosing, and clip it on. We'll use these spoons early in the year, and even more so. Spoons are just always good, but really early in the year, my absolute favorite salmon lure is a Pins Minnow. Usuri Pins Minnow. This color, it's like a smelt color. Troll them around 3 miles an hour, 2.8 to 3.8 really. You got to be careful if you're going 3.8 with your spoons, because a lot of spoons will start to spin. But that's one of my favorites. My wife actually caught a 10 pounder out of Champlain on that exact rig a couple years back. We have a video of that if you want to see it. But so okay, so we're going to put this on our downrigger. We're going to drop it in the water. We're going to set our line counter, and then we're going to open the bail and we're going to let it go out about 10 to 25. I usually don't go more than 25 behind the ball, because what you're getting, especially with the salmon, I find they really like the flash of a stainless prop. And then on the downrigger balls, we run, actually, this one, that's usually where I run it. These Big Al's Fish Flash. I'm gonna totally be in your way here. Grab one. All right. So here's a downrigger ball. So you got your downrigger line. Comes down, your downrigger release, and then you clip this to the bottom of the release. Well, we take these and we'll take a big swivel and we will clip these right on the back of the ball, so that as the ball is going through the water, this is flashing. And I'd say at least 3 to 1, when we only run one at a time, that downrigger is the one to go off, as opposed to the one without it. So flasher on the ball on there, 10 to 25 feet behind the ball, clip your line on the release, and then probably, I'd say 90% of the time, we're putting one down 10 feet and one down 15. Now that doesn't really, I mean, you use your fish finder, find the fish, put it in and around the fish. But where we fish in the spring, the southern end of Champlain, most of the time, that's the depth. That's like, it's almost like you don't even have to look at your fish finder. If you don't have a fish finder, try a 10 and a 15, run that. If you have a fish finder, find the bait, you'll find that's where they usually are, and that's where you see your marks are. And a good thing to remember is, the fish don't really like to go down. So if you're marking salmon, say 12 feet down, right? And you're running your ball at 25, I'm not saying they won't go down there to get it, but they're a predator. They like to have things in front of them and above them. That's where they really will see your lure best. So, okay, so this is set, right? We got this down there. We're 20 feet back, 10 feet down, boom, that's set. So next is the dipsy diver. So how we're gonna run this, same thing, 8-pound leader, snap swivel. So we're gonna put this over the side, right in the line. And this is a 10 foot, or is it 10 and a half? It's 10 foot even rod, medium action. It's really flexible, but it has, it's a dipsy diver rod. It's got a good enough backbone. So what I do on these now, I have let's see, I have about 20 feet of line on this, of leader. This one I do have a long leader. So, I'm gonna pull it out, and it's braid. You almost certainly have to use braid with these because you need a no stretch line. Wire is another option, but the wire is just a pain to work with. So, I have 25 feet of leader on this, and then it switches to the braid. That is an Alberto knot connecting the two. Then to this, I just tie a loop in the line. So you have your braid with a loop in the line. Now it's 50-pound braid, so does it weaken the line a little? Yes. Are you going to lose a fish because of it? Very unlikely. So what I have are these size 0 dipsies early in the year. It's just a number 0 dipsy diver. You adjust the, you have your 1 through 3 setting. I like to run a 2, 2.5. I don't really like the 3 because if it's rough out, it's almost too much like this, and you go up on a wave and it gets slack and they like to turn over on you, tangle up mess. So 2.5 is about as far as I'll go on them. If it's calm out, run a 3, no problem. But if there's a little chop on the water, I usually don't go over a 2, 2.5. So, and then just because I can never remember what the chart says, I just write it on top. So I have my number 3 for reference. If you're on 2, 2.5, obviously you're gonna be a few feet shallower than that. So to get 10 feet down, you have to let out 39 feet of line. 15 feet down, 55 feet of line. 20 feet down, 85 feet of line. And I'm not gonna use this deeper than 20 feet because it's so small and just your angle gets ridiculous. So anyways, here's what we do. We take this line, and this is just a double snap clip. I buy these at Home Depot, and you clip it right in there. Drop that over the side, and I'll reel down. So here, I'll just do it for you. I'll reel it up within like a foot of the tip like that. I drop it in the water so it starts pulling, and then you just back off your drag until it starts peeling out line. And so you're gonna let it out, let's see, 39 feet is 10 feet. So let's pretend like, I did say this is down 10 feet, right? Right. So if I'm gonna put this at 10 feet, I'm gonna put this also in that 10-foot zone, because what I'll have here is, this is right behind the boat, 15, 25 feet. This one is gonna be the same depth, but it's gonna be farther out to the side and farther back because we need more line out to get it there. So we're working on a V pattern here. So this one's gonna be out there. We're gonna let out our 39 feet. We'll be at 10 feet. We'll tighten up our drag once we get there. And then we're gonna drop this down horizontal like that, put it in the rod holder. And it's gonna be 10 feet off the side of the boat. We're gonna have a nice, it's not gonna be quite 10 because you're gonna have an arch in the line. So that's good there. Now, I guess it's important to say, it depends how many people you have on board, because a lot of places, if you're by yourself, 2 lines is all you can use. In that case, I'll probably run the downrigger on this side and probably a dipsy off that side. But usually we have 3, 4 people with us, so we can run, you know, 6, 8 rods, even more on the New York side when you can have 3 apiece. But next is going to be our planer board rod, and there's 2 ways I like to do this. Early in the year, we'll take our line, and this, again, all of them have the fluorocarbon leader. So I'll take a spoon like this. This is the same swivel, same spoon. And then all I have is a bobber stop. And this is a 3/16 ounce tungsten worm weight, like for bass fishing. Pop that on there, pull out, you know, 12 feet, 15 feet, however much you want this sinker to be in front of your lure. You don't need a ton, it's pretty stealthy on its own, but you can play with lead lengths. I wouldn't go much more than 50 feet because then you're asking for trouble. And if you were trying to get really deep with a heavier weight, you might do that. 10 feet, 15 feet, somewhere in there, plenty. And then you just let this out. Probably, if I'm gonna try to hit that 10-foot zone, I'm probably gonna let it out like 30, 40 feet. And then it's pretty good in those increments. Call it every 30 feet back is about 10 feet down with this weight. So, and we'll let that out. So let's say we're gonna put that 40 feet out. That's a good number for early in the spring like that, when fish are up close to the top. We'll take our planer board. These are the Ninja speed planers. These are really nice because they're really easy to put on and off the line. So you pop that in there, pop it behind there, and you're hooked up and ready. Now you're gonna take this, you're gonna drop it, so your lure's already out. Drop this in the water straight behind the boat as you're trolling. And you're gonna let it get, since you're running a dipsy, I'd say you're at least gonna want it, God, no less than probably, again, like that 30, 40 feet number. That's just a good number, it seems. But let it out, then you engage your reel, it'll start pulling. This is gonna pull out to the side. It's gonna go right over your lines that are already out and sit where it wants to in your spread. Pop it in the rod holder, and then you're good to go. Watch it. Now these Ninjas also, they have this tattle flag on them. So you take your line, wrap it around there, and when a fish, I got really tight, Hold on. As I said, they're super easy. But so when the fish hits, it'll pull your flag up. It's just a little different rigging than like the offshore planers, but these are really easy to get on. So when you catch a fish, your flag will go up, your board will go back, you're reeling in the fish, whoever's fighting the fish, walk up a little into the boat, someone just grab it, and then you just push the button and give it a little twist, it'll come right off your line. And then as you're fighting the fish, you can see, let's turn that off so it's not deafening to you. That sinker is gonna go, and I just let the sinker hit the tip of the rod, and you just keep reeling. And that bobber stop is enough to hold it, but also it's enough resistance to hold it, but enough give to let you reel it right up, and you net your fish. That way you don't have to worry about leader length being an issue for there. So that's what we'll do. Another way to do the planer rods is with lead core, which works great. It's just, you need a lot heavier reel to hold all that lead core. You can put short colors in, but I don't have a million rods, so I just have 2 10 colors, and I let them out accordingly. So this one you'll let out to, this is from salmon fishing in Ontario. This is not a early landlock lure. Could be, I guess, but it's awfully big. So anyways, same thing here. Let it out, let your cores out. 2 colors, probably 3 colors tops. 3 colors get you 18 feet. Hook up to the board, let it out the same way. You're good to go. You're trolling. So if you can run 6 rods, great. We like to run 6. That's our comfort. Obviously, stay legal if you can't run that many. And then yeah, if we're heavy on the pins, minnows, and Rapalas we'll use. Let's see. We'll run around that 3. Usually no less than 3. 2.8 at the absolute minimum with these, because they have a really tight wiggle. So 3 to 4, call it, for speed on these. If we're running spoon heavy, we'll slow down a little, 2.5, 2.8. 2.8 to 3.4 is usually where we can cross over the best with some pins, minnows, some of the Michigan stingers, that kind of stuff. These orange colors are really, I like them. It doesn't seem like they work every day in the plugs, but in the spoons, and especially on Champlain, these orange colors, orange and copper, orange and gold, have just been dynamite. And then your normal colors, your bait fishy, silvers, blacks, Wonder Bread, for whatever reason, Wonder Bread is just an amazing color everywhere you go. Not sure why, but it works. So a couple spoon choices there, but you got your spoons, got the things. Control your speed and find the bait and find the marks around the bait, and you will catch fish. Thanks for watching. Hope that helped. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Let us know.